let's start by warming up the feet a little bit. So if you lift your left heel off the floor and just roll around as if you're wearing very high heels, rolling to the big toe and the little toe. And you can also take the top of the foot onto the floor and roll and stretch through the front of the foot. Let's do that on the other side. Just warming up through the feet a little bit. And then let's warm up through the hips a little bit. So if you bring the weight onto your right foot and just try some little or big circles with this knee. You don't have to think too much about these circles. Just make them as big as feels comfortable, 2 or 3 times in each direction. Great. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up onto your, so I'm going to mirror you, onto your right foot and bring the weight there. So make sure that you're nice and tall through this standing leg. And then you'll know tree pose is bringing the foot to the thigh or somewhere along the leg. But instead of that, with the arms up above the head if you like, we're going to bring the foot in front of the leg and behind the leg. So just do this a few times, bringing the foot in front and behind, and again in front and behind, and then take that leg, stretch it out and reach it in front of you, and then reach it behind. So let's do that a couple more times. Reaching in front, you can bring the hands to the hips if you would like. Make sure you're not leaning back, and make sure you're not leaning forwards as you take the leg behind. And then from this position, we're going to come really slowly into a warrior one. So bending that front knee and bringing that left leg back behind you, all the way back into warrior one. The front knee is over the front ankle. Reach the arms all the way up. Great big lovely stretch through the front of that hip. And then we're going to drop the body slowly down towards this front thigh so that the fingers come towards the ground. Now you might manage just to here, or you might manage all the way down, fingers just grazing the ground. And we're going to do this twice. We're going to push that right foot into the floor and bring the arms all the way up and slightly behind the ears. And we'll do that one more time. So coming forwards, keep that back heel rooting down, keep this front knee over the ankle, and keep that front hip moving back. So this right hip, moving back in space. Push the foot into the floor so you'll feel the inner thighs and the hamstrings working really strongly all the way up. And then hands to the hips, and we can just ease out through the hips, walk the feet in, and we can do that on the other side. So let's bring the weight onto the left foot and bring the right foot up for tree pose. So make sure that you're not hanging out like so. I want you to really think about lifting up nice and tall. Hands can be here or at the heart or above the head, and take the foot in front and behind. So this is about strengthening up this standing supporting hip, also strengthening and providing increased mobility or potential for increased mobility around this hip, and you'll feel that working quite strongly. Make sure that you're not gripping the floor with the toes on this standing leg. And then stretch this leg out in front. Try not to hoik the hip up, keep the hip down, stretch it up and back behind you. And I'll just turn and carry on doing that with you this way, so that when we're ready now, we can slowly, really slowly with control, come into our warrior one, placing the back foot down, heel to the ground, arms up. Front knee over front ankle, and then let's let the body drop down just a little or all the way. And if you want a little bit more work, take the foot further back. And you might want to exhale as you push the foot into the floor to help with that work. So you're lifting away from gravity, and an exhale is a good thing to be doing at that point. So pushing this foot, this left foot into the floor, you should feel all of this musculature working very strongly around the glutes and the hamstring. All the way up into warrior one. Lovely. Hands to the hips, step forwards. Great, shake it out. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Lovely little bit of work in the lower body.